Jamie, thank you so much. Fantastic job. You paint a phenomenal picture for people who are looking at our NHT opportunity with your presentation. Fantastic job as you always do in our presentations, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you for the introduction. First of all, I'd love to wish everybody a very happy new year and abundance in all areas of life for everyone. As many people are sitting together with their loved ones or their partners and laying out their foundation, their goals, their vision for this year. I'm just excited to be part of this leadership team to be able to bring you, again, just different topics. What we do every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. We have a different top leader here at NHT Global sharing with you a different business building topic in order for you to move your business forward. And this is what we do here. Make sure, again, you have it on your planner, you have it on your scheduler, and whatever webinar you miss on Wednesday nights, you can go to steamteam.ca and you can definitely consistently continue to listen to these trainings over and over and over again. So I'm ready to get started here on our topic here, which is a formula for a successful three-way call. You keep hearing about doing a lot of three-way calls, and as Jamie said, it is one of the most powerful tools for you to build your business. But really no one teaches your new distributors how to make it successful, how to do a proper introduction. That's really what I'm going to spend time, because this can easily be a full day course on how to do a successful three-way call. But I'm just going to give you just some guidelines, some bullet points that you can use every time you bring in your business partner to help you with your prospect on a call. I'm excited about this. There isn't a lot of people telling you how to make it successful, and I'm not going to tell you what to do word for word. It's not about that, but it's about certain things you want to make sure you bring across to your partner, but also to your prospect, and you'll see why. So I'm excited about this because this is a very, very important aspect of building your business, whether locally, nationally, it's definitely internationally. And so I want to begin here, and I know there's people who are actually listening, so I'm going to try to paint a picture as I'm talking, basically reflecting on the slides that I've created for all of you here today. So let's get started. Three-way calling, as I said, is the most effective way to build your business quickly and also for your business to go into momentum. Now, when do you do a three-way call? Okay, well, anytime you want to welcome somebody, okay, you welcome your new business partner, you can definitely do a three-way call. Whenever you want to edify or validate what you are saying, you do a three-way call. Whenever you want to inspire somebody, whether it's a team member or if it's a prospect or if it's a customer, you can do a three-way call. Whenever you want to educate, not just the prospect, but also the person who's brand new, that's how they also learn from the upline partner for being on that three-way call. And obviously, when you want to support your distributor, when you want to support the information you shared before with your prospect. So you could do it at any one of these aspects that you want to create. Again, welcome, you want to edify, you want to validate, if you want to inspire, if you want to educate, you want to support, you can do a three-way call. Now, you do a three-way call with your landline. You can do a three-way call with your cell phone. You can do a three-way call with Skype, and I'm sure there's some other programs out there. I don't know if FaceTime does it. on your iPhone, but there's many different ways you can bring two other parties on the phone with you. As a matter of fact, you can actually do it on a conference call, on a conference line. There's so many free conference lines that you can get where you get people to punch in a password, and you can get two people, you can get four people on. But here, for the sake of this training, we're talking about a three-way call, okay? So, the proper way to introduce your partner to your prospect, and then the proper way to introduce your prospect to your partner. Now, you want to do it in this order. This is how I do it, and I'll tell you why. I don't introduce my prospect to my partner first. I introduce my partner to my prospect, and then I introduce my prospect to my partner. Now, this is going to all make sense because I'm going to role play towards the end of this training to see how simple it is and how effective and how smooth, and just goes right into the transition of your partner taking over the three-way call. And why do I do it in this order? Again, it provides a smooth transition for your partner to take over. So, the formula to introduce both parties now begins, okay? So I want to first touch on how to introduce your partner to your prospect. Now, this is very important. Make sure that whatever you're saying, you're authentic, okay? You're excited, and you're appreciative. This is very important. Now, number one, this is the formula that I use. I'm just sharing with you what I use. It's not strict. There's some flexibility to this, but I just want to share with you some concepts as what I do. It may seem a lot, but really I do this within 1 or 2 minutes introducing both. But here's how you introduce your partner to your prospect. Number one, okay? So prospect, and let's say your prospect, his name is Linda, okay? So Linda, I want to introduce you to, now I'm going to use Joe Garcia because Joe Garcia is my enroller and is also, obviously, my partner. So, Linda, I want to introduce to you to my partner, my business partner, Joe, okay? It could be as simple as that. Now, I'm not going to really role play here. I'm going to role play at the end, but what you want to do after that is you want success of your partner to include accomplishments, what your partner has accomplished, what accolades they have, their leadership, their commitment, their support, their proven track record. These are the things that you want to say to your prospect about your partner. So whatever level of success, however the gratitude you have of your partner to your prospect. Now, number three, if your partner is brand new, maybe they don't have the level of success yet because they just got started. Everybody gets started as a brand new distributor here at NHD Global. So if your partner is brand new, what do you want to focus on? Okay, if they're not a multimillionaire, if they're not a six-figure income earner, or they haven't been recognized for this or that, that doesn't matter. Focus on their vision, focus on their commitment, okay, and tie them to an experienced, successful upline partner. I'm going to share how that goes towards the end of the webinar, okay? So focus on their vision, their attributes, their characteristics, their commitment, and tie them to somebody else in your upline that is successful, where you can throw in, again, an accolade or an accomplishment, okay? That's the formula. Now, you have to have information on your partner's success, accomplishments, their vision, their goals or focus. You have to take the time to have them have a written introduction already. If you don't know the success of the person who enrolled you, or some accolades or accomplishments or their vision, after you listen to this webinar training, make sure you write it on your to-do list that you do that either today or tomorrow, but you got to make sure you have some information so when you're ready to do a three-way call, you can introduce your partner appropriately, okay? So everyone at the minimum should have your enroller's intro information. You definitely want to have Joe Garcia's. You definitely want to have Dan Cato's. You definitely want to have maybe even two more of your successful upline business partners, because if one's not available, you have somebody and write their introduction on a piece of paper so you can have them handy. After you do several three-way calls, guess what? You're going to know it automatically. Again, Joe says this all the time. You know, repetition is the mother of all skills, and it is true. The more you do it and you're authentic and it's real information, it's just going to come out of your mouth. It's that simple. You don't have to read it. It's not going to take more than 3 or 4 three-way calls to kind of know the success and the accolades and the accomplishments of your enroller and your upline partners. Now, what's the formula to introduce your prospect to your partner? Again, it's got to be authentic, okay? You got to be excited. You got to be appreciative, okay? So, first of all, you thank your partner, obviously, for taking the time, okay? Number 2. So, again, I'm going to Joe Garcia because Joe Garcia is my enroller. I do 3 calls with Joe Garcia. I want to introduce you to Linda, okay? Now, I'm going to share with Joe Garcia how I met Linda, how long I've known her. Not really long, just a very short snippets. How long I've known her, if we had any history together, like if we were friends or we were best friends or we worked together in the past or whatever it is, just some history together. Perhaps maybe I met Linda as a lead, or maybe on LinkedIn or on Facebook. And I'll share that. I'll share it. You know, I've only known Linda for a short period of time. We've connected on Facebook. So really, if you just tell her the truth, okay, and stick to this formula, the right things are gonna come out. Okay. If they have any leadership, any experience, or great qualities about them as an entrepreneur, please share them, okay? Any business success or any hot buttons, like, you know that they're looking at NHT Global because, you know, they envision them having a global business. They're sick and tired of their 9-to-5 job. They realize they're not going to go anywhere with their job. You know, whatever kind of thing that you can include. And why? Again, because the more information you can give to your partner about your prospect, guess what? They're now more equipped to get right into the questions that they need to help you with your prospect. Okay? So, and then I also share the reason why prospect is looking. Again, it could be one of their hot buttons, or perhaps they've had experience in this industry, but, you know, they didn't have any success because they didn't like the people they were working with, or they didn't buy into the vision, or the whatever, okay? And or perhaps why you feel they're a great candidate for the opportunity. Again, you're going to see how this plays out. And for those of you who are listening, who has done 3-way calls with me, you can pretty much kind of see that this is kind of how I follow as far as what I do, how I introduce again my partner, how I introduce my prospect, but also again as I do 3-ways with people in my organization as well. So what have they reviewed so far? This is very, very important. This is something that I know a lot of people miss. Okay, what have they reviewed so far? Because sometimes when we do a 3-way call, we don't have the time to kind of set it up. We'll say something like, you know what, let me see if my business partner is available. If not, that's okay. We'll get them on another time later today, but let's see if they're available. So if you call that partner and they didn't know they were doing a 3-way and they have a few minutes, this is how you segue them into who this person is, where are they in their decision making, and then that way they know how to take over. So what have they reviewed so far? Maybe they haven't reviewed anything and you just got them on a three-way call after you talked to them. Maybe they reviewed a webinar. Maybe they reviewed a capture page. Maybe they're whatever it is. Let them know what they have reviewed so far. Now, here's the most important part, okay? Once you've introduced your prospect to your partner, then you zip it. I don't know how else to say this, and I mean it obviously in a positive way. You zip it. And I've done many three-way calls over the last 11 years in my experience. And, if you're bringing your partner on to the call, what you're doing is you're showing all the stuff that I talked about, support, you're learning and stuff like that. So, but if you are going to be talking more than the partner, then why is the partner on the call? You've already done prospecting. They've already kind of know you. So that's why I said zip it. And I'll tell you why. Once you zip it, you take notes, okay? You take notes based on what your partner is saying as far as the questions, how he answers some of the questions of your prospect, but then you also take notes based on what questions your prospect is asking, what their heart buttons are, what their concerns are, what they like. This is how you start taking notes on your prospect, and this is how you learn, okay? So take two types of notes. Again, questions your partner is asking and answers your partner is sharing with your prospect. Questions your prospect is asking and comments your prospect. So basically, you're just doing some note-taking, basically, as you're listening your partner and your prospect, again, going back and forth. Now, there's times where you can, if I can share something in basically interrupt, that's fine. But 90% of the time, until the partner cues you to take over, basically, you're just taking notes, okay? So, basically, what is your partner going to be saying? What's going to happen? Basically, when you transition it that way, your partner knows enough about where the prospect is at, who they are, kind of person they are, and basically your partner will share. They'll ask probably some questions. And I'm not going to cover in this webinar the questions because it's the same. Basically, what your partner is doing is a follow-up call. The same follow-up you are going to do when you follow up with your prospects, but now you're doing a three-way, so your partner's kind of helping you do the follow-up. So if you want to, again, go over how to do follow-ups and what your partner's kind of going to be asking, go over the follow-up training. There's several of them. I know I've done one. It's under steamteam.ca. But basically, your partner's going to share their story, okay? They're going to ask questions to learn more about the prospect. Where do they live? Okay, what do they currently do for a living, unless you've already included that when you're introducing your prospect to your partner. But little things to get to know about the prospect a little more. And they're going to ask more questions. If they looked at a tool, what do they best liked about the information they reviewed? And where is the prospect at their decision making? Basically, okay, well, you viewed the information on a scale of 1 through 10. What's your interest level in regards to getting started with both of us today? Okay? Now, these are questions, again, you can get on the follow-up, how to do a proper follow-up. But then also your partner is going to edify and validate and recognize you. Okay? This is the biggest part of the three-way call. And basically, your partner will direct the call back to you. This three-way call could be 5 minutes. The three-way call could be 15 minutes. The three-way call could be 30 minutes. I don't suggest going more than 30 minutes. There's always exceptions. But again, they'll direct the call back to you. Again, training on making your follow-up successful. I've already mentioned it. You can go to steamteam.ca. I've done one on how to make your follow-up call successful. And again, you can review that. But it's basically what your partner is pretty much going to be doing. So you close a call by, again, thanking both parties, and basically restating the next step for your prospect based on what your partner, okay, said to your prospect. Okay, so the next step per your partner to your prospect. Your partner could have said, you know, if they haven't reviewed a tool, I want you to take a look at, you know, Andreas's Nature's Care side, Andreas's Capture, whatever it is that he's going to say. I want you to take a look at the recorded webinar. So you're going to reiterate what the partner suggested for your prospect to do, okay? And then you always make the next follow-up appointment. Okay, make sure you don't get off the phone unless you make unless the person is not interested for whatever reason. It's not for them. There's not a next connection with them. Make sure you're making a follow-up appointment today or tomorrow to review whatever other information your partner has offered to them for them to make a decision. Okay, now please do not do this. I probably get this about 4 out of 10 three-way calls, especially new people. Now, this is not the fault of the new people. It's because, you know, you say do a three-way call, and really, if nobody has really shown a new distributor or how to introduce it, it's not really their fault. But if it goes this way, you'll get a guard from the prospect and you'll get a confusion from your partner. So here's what you should not do. Hi, Sue. Are you on? Great. Jack, are you on? Great. Sue, this is Jack. Jack, this is Sue. Okay? This is kind of like what your prospect's going to do. It's true. You know, okay, hi, Jack. This is Sue. Sue, this is Jack. And then, you know, what you're really saying is, okay, partner, go. Okay? That's not a successful three-way call. Okay, great. You bridged two people together, but Sue doesn't know Jack. Jack doesn't know Sue. So that's why I created the formula how to properly make an introduction, so that way when you're done and you introduce your partner, it segues your partner to all of a sudden take over in a smooth transition with the questions that your partner is going to start answering. So I'm going to do a role play here, okay? So you can see how very simple it is. So I'm the caller, right? I'm calling, okay? I'm the guy in the bottom here. I'm calling. My partner is Joe Garcia, and my prospect, I named her Linda, okay? So this is my prospect. This is my partner. This is me, okay? So here's what I'm going to do, okay? This is the formula I kind of shared with you. I just kind of condensed it. When I introduce Joe to Linda, okay, and then I'm going to introduce Linda to Joe, okay, and then I'm going to zip it, and I'm going to take notes. And then when Joe cues me to take over, I'm going to close the call by thanking both parties. I'm restating the next step that Joe recommended Linda to do, and then I try to make the appointment. Now, the role play is going to pretty much go up to here, okay? And obviously, I don't know, again, because you don't know how the conversation is going to go, but let me give you a simple introduction. Now, Linda, I haven't really put anything on paper here, so I'm going to make this up right now as we go. Let's just say Linda is a prospect. Let's just say Linda is an insurance agent. Okay, and let's say I met Linda at a networking event, a business after hours in the local community where all business people get together. So let's say I met Linda at a networking event, and she's an insurance agent. Okay, so here's how the role play is going to go when I call Linda and I also bring Joe on the line. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Joe to Linda first. Okay, I'm going to make sure that they're both on. Joe, do I have you on the line? Joe says yes, great. Linda, do I have you on the line? Linda says yes, great. First of all, I want to thank both of you guys for being on this call today. Linda, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Joe Garcia. You know, a little bit about Joe Garcia, because I've kind of talked to you about him when I first talked to you about NHT Global, and when you asked me why I got involved with NHT Global. Let me just share with you, the reason why I'm here with NHT Global is because really of Joe Garcia. Was very passionate and really interested in making sure that when I build a business, I'm building it with the right people. And Joe Garcia is our master distributor. Basically, the success of NHT Global, $1.5 billion company, is responsible. Again, Joe Garcia is a big reason why we're at where we're at. And he's a multimillionaire. He's traveled the world. He's a mentor to so many people, including myself. And he's been written on, so many different books. He's published. He's been published in many books. He's written in many articles. What he has done in the last 10 years as not just a network marketer, but a distributor, as a master distributor here at NHT Global, is truly legendary. And I'm just, again, blessed to be a part of building a business with somebody like Joe Garcia. And Joe, I just want to thank you for taking the time to spend some time learning more about Linda. And, a little bit about Linda, Joe. I met Linda at a networking event here in my local town here in Plainfield. We've met several times, and every time I walked in, you could always, you always know Linda was there. She's got a great smile. She's got a great presence. She's got great energy. She's an insurance agent and actually very successful at what she does. So she's an entrepreneur, and she's got some great qualities that obviously everybody would love to do business with someone like Linda. So, I reached out to her telling her exactly what it is that I do, because we couldn't really talk about that at the networking event as we're meeting a lot of people. And I basically told her what it is that I do, and I was looking to aggressively grow in my area here, and I asked if she would be open to at least looking at what it is that we do. And she didn't have to leave what she was doing with her insurance, but yet I wanted to offer an opportunity to make another source of income, and she was interested. And so she reviewed the recorded webinar, and so that's pretty much where she is at right now. And I just wanted to thank you for being on the call with us here today. And then basically, Joe Garcia is going to take over. Obviously, Joe is going to, say hello, great, and whatever questions he's going to open up to build that relationship. But what I just did was give a synopsis of Linda, a synopsis of Joe, and I basically followed this formula. So as I was looking at the formula, I was just picturing that this is exactly how I met Linda. I was actually visualizing Linda at a networking event. I just made that up, so I wanted to make it real, so I was visualizing it. And then I'm just going to zip it, and I'm going to take notes. And when Joe directs me, and maybe Linda wanted to know more about Joe Garcia, and Joe gives her whyjoegarcia.com. Well, when I close the call, of course, I'm going to thank Joe. I'm going to thank Linda for getting together. And I'm just going to say, Linda, here's this. Make sure that you have the site correctly, whyjoegarcia.com. When do you think you'll be able to kind of review that information where I can get back to you, and then we can basically see where you're at that time? Would today work or tomorrow? If Linda says tomorrow would be better, I say, great, what time? I make it a specific appointment to make sure any time I get off a phone, there is always an appointment of when my next connection is going to be with that prospect, okay? And so I'm just going to follow whatever Joe says. And this is something that you want to learn. Why? Because there's going to be time where your distributors that you bring in are going to do three-way calls, and you're going to be the partner. You're going to be doing the questions. So basically, you're going to be the Joe Garcia, so then your distributor will zip it and take notes. And so that's why, again, doing successful three-way calls not only helps you move your prospect closer to making a decision and joining you, but this is also how you learn how simple it is just to be yourself, ask some questions, have fun with it, but be serious about how this opportunity can literally be the solution for what a lot of people are looking for that they're not getting at their current job, occupation, or whatever other home-based business that they're involved with. So if you want to build your business fast, if you want to build your business big, you got to do three-way calls. If you want to build momentum, if you want to get out of a slump, if you're in a slump, guess what? Yep, you got to do three-way calls. If you want to learn more and develop your skills, if you want to duplicate throughout your organization, you got to do three-way calls. Think about 5 or 6 people in your organization doing 3 or 5 three-way calls on a weekly basis. Okay, think how much growth and momentum your entire 2-team organization, how much momentum and how much growth it will occur. And who can do a three-way call? Anybody. If you follow the formula, again, print it out. It'll be available on the website. You can pause it. You can write it down, keep it by you. So whenever you're doing a three-way call, you have the formula on how to introduce your partner, how to introduce your prospect. This is so simple. This is so just critical to your success in building a big, again, NHT Global Business. Why? Because three-way call is duplicatable. It's something that anybody can do. Everybody has a phone. If you don't have three-way calling, I think every phone has three-way calling. If for whatever reason they don't, add it. I remember back then it used to be $2 a month to do three-way call. And guess what? Don't schedule a three-way call, and when the time comes, you tell your partner, you know what, I've never done a three-way call. I don't know how to do it. It is your responsibility to make sure you know how to do a three-way call. It is so simple right now that basically on your phone now, I mean, on Skype, it's easy. It tells you to add in another person. Okay, your landline is easy. You hit the tone flash button, then you bring somebody else in. But on your phone now, your send button is actually a flash button. But now they're so simple where your phone basically says, when you're making a phone call, either merge another person, add a contact person in. So just follow your phone and you bridge it in. Practice with your spouse, your sister, a friend. Say, I'm going to practice how to do a three-way call. Okay? Do it. Don't wait until there's a three-way call scheduled and, well, can you just call? Not that your partner's not going to do it. Yeah, of course we're going to do it. But take the responsibility to learn how to do a three-way call. I guarantee you it's going to take you less than 1 minute to figure it out. Okay? So that is a formula for a successful three-way call. I hope you picked up on some good concepts here on how to make it successful. It's simple, it's fun, and it's just an easy transition for your partner to take over. But again, you're getting your prospect excited by putting somebody else on besides just what you're saying to edify you, to validate you, and again, hearing it third party, the excitement, their story, hearing another person's success story or another person's reason why they joined NHT Global. Stories are what people want to hear, and that's what you do with three-way calling. So it was a pleasure doing this webinar training. We'll have it available on steamteam.ca, I'm sure, in several days. And don't miss our next week Wednesday night leadership training. And once again, every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, a different trainer, a different topic on how to help you move your business forward. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight, and we'll hear you on our next week training call. Thank you, everyone.